Psalm 127:3. Children are a heritage from the Lord, offspring a reward from Him. This suggests children are a precious gift from God to be valued and cared for.
In the United States, a child a minute is taken into DHS, CPS, and so on custody. The reality is their picks are already selected, you just don't know it. Being perfect no longer matters. It's what the adopting families are looking for.
Who is it stealing the children, you ask?
From caseworker to the White House, the buck stops at all levels, just not where it is supposed to be. The services your family needs, we the people have paid for to ensure your reunification. Title IV says, reunify at all costs. United, we stand means nothing to us when it comes to family values. Children are being ripped away from their families. Parents are reverting to addictive behaviors to cover the pain. The trauma caused by child removal is just being recognized, and the results are atrocious. Termination of parental rights is not healthy for anyone, just profitable for the people enforcing the line.
It's time Washington listens to the cries of our children, the wails of their mothers, and the rage growing in the fathers. These are our children. Keep your damn hands off them. We are coming to act on the behalf of the children God gave us to protect, and you kidnapped.
Who has been torn away from their security blanket, their parents, the ones who stopped the boogeyman from terrorizing the nights and curing their boo-boos when they scraped their knees. Now just imagine how they mightst feel when the CPS meant to protect them tears them away from their supposed abusers and places them with strangers who have zero comforting skills. They need to be calmed. They are confused, lost, panicked, and needing their parents, but CPS took them away for the purpose of saving them. The kids don't even know why, and they are told that the parents they attach to no longer want them. What do you think that does? Do you think that this is how protecting children is supposed to look? Abolish CPS.
Good evening, everybody. It is Saturday evening, 8:54 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am Vinny, and I am exposing CPS, and you are on CPS Victims Hunting for Justice, Saturday edition. I'm going to be waiting for some guests to come on the show here. I don't know who's going to be here tonight with us, so it's going to be interesting to find out. But as I said, we are CPS Victims Hunting for Justice. We talk about everything to do with CPS, attorneys, lawyers, guardian ad litems, judges. They're all corrupt. At least here in Maine, it's at the highest level. It goes all the way up the chain, and it's ridiculous. We are one of the worst states for CPS problems. Oh, I think I see Debbie in the comments over there. Hey, Debbie, how are you? Good to see you. I'm waiting on Ashley and Herbert, I think, are going to join. I don't know who else is going to join tonight. It is Saturday and a holiday weekend, as everyone's aware. I just worked an extra hour tonight, so I picked up an hour. And I may have to work tomorrow a couple extra hours, so Might pick up some more overtime there, so that'd be good. Be a good fat paycheck next week. Um, that's good, Debbie. I'm glad that you're doing well. How is your daughter? How are things going for you?
I don't give her much.
I don't see anyone else joining yet, but I sent the link out, so hopefully we'll be getting some more people here soon. So there was a couple of things I did want to go over that no one's really touched base on, and I want to pull it up. So give me a minute to find it. Um, but I found a couple links of things, and I'm just like shocked at them. Just the things that I was finding are unreal. Um, so let's see if I can find it here. I'm trying to pull it up. Uh, yeah, right here. So it's an interesting site because like I've been reading over the stuff that's been on it, and it kind of it kind of makes you wonder and think, um, about certain things. Um, okay, Ashley's gonna join in about 20 minutes. She'll pop in, so that'll be good. But I want to read this little article that I found. It's Parental Rights: The Corruption Business of Child Protective Services. Summary: This article author worked with around 300 cases in Georgia, along with hundreds across the nation. She shared heartbreaking stories of CPS corruption, including how children are being taken away unnecessarily and put in very abusive situations. Her conclusion is that there is no responsibility and no accountability in child protective services. Um, and she goes on to her name. Well, obviously everyone's gonna know right off as soon as I say who published this, but it was by Nancy Schaefer. Um, and she puts in, my introduction into child protective services cases was due to a grandmother in a adjoining state who called me with her tragic story. Her two granddaughters had been taken from her daughter who lived in my district. Her daughter was told, Rowling, that if she wanted to see her children again, she should sign a paper and give up her children. Fighting, frightening and young, the daughter did. I have since discovered that parents are often threatened into cooperation of permanent separation of their children. And then she goes on to later explain, looking for help in dealing with child services. First, quickly join the email below. Then go to the Parental Rights Foundation for a list of legal organizations we know of who take parental right cases. Not all organizations on the list take child protective cases. Parentalrights.org is a public lobby organized and not a legal organization. So unfortunately, we are not equipped to help direct with your parent right cases. Um, but yeah, this is a thing that Nancy Schaefer put out, and it is called, trying to bring it up, parentsrights.org/child protective services. the corrupt business of child protective services. You can listen while you drive. Are you sure about that, Ash? Can you whistle while you work too? I gotta have a little funny in there. Oh, we got Mr. Herbert with us. Good evening, sir.
Hey, how you doing, Vinny?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself, Mr. Herbert?
Good. Any echoes?
It goes.
Are you
Did
are
you
you
have a
hearing
Did you have a
any
good evening?
are you hearing any echoes?
No.
Okay.
I think them new headphones work great for you. Yeah, Laura
If
A
it's
is really a great lady. I got to agree, Debbie. I think if Herbert was to look her up on TikTok and go watch some of Laura's videos, Herbert would learn a hell of a lot more than what we're teaching him because Laura was in that field at one point, and she's been helping other people. Herbert, you would really like Laura A. Like she's been fighting against a lot of stuff.
you say she was in the field,
Yes, she was. Yep.
she was a caseworker?
I think she was close to a caseworker, if not a caseworker. Debbie, remind me, was she a caseworker? I can't remember if she was or she was administration or she was something. But yeah,
Can,
she's been uncovering um, the fact that they've been stealing kids for years.
can we get her to come on the show one day?
I don't have TikTok, so I couldn't reach out to her anymore. But Debbie might be able to reach out to Laura.
Yeah, I don't really have TikTok.
No, I don't anymore. Don't mind me. My eyes are like. I spent 8.5 hours over that broiler and that fryer later today.
Yeah, well, the oil can get to your eyes.
Oh yeah, it does. Yep.
Why don't you wear goggles?
Then I wouldn't be able to see.
Yes, you will, because the goggles, it's like swimming goggles.
Well, let me go put my drunk goggles on.
Drunk.
I don't know what a drunk goggle is.
You never see you. How do you not know what drunk goggles are working in law enforcement?
I don't know what a drunk goggle is. I know what goggles are that goes over your eyes like swimming goggles.
Yeah, they're kind of the same, but in the aspects of they make the room kind of look like it's fuzzy to you.
Okay.
That's what drunk goggles are.
Okay.
They give you that experience of being drunk but not.
Oh, okay. So it
Yeah.
messes with
Oh yeah.
your,
Yeah.
so the goggles messes with your brain. What I'm saying is just buy a clear thing of goggles, like children's goggles, and put on your face while you're working over the fire.
Yeah. She just said it.
Because
She was an advocate. Laura was
advocate.
an
Okay.
advocate. She was an
Okay.
advocate for children and foster kids, I think.
Okay. So we should try to contact her and see if she can come on the show.
Hopefully I'll mention to Darren about it. Maybe I can get Darren because Darren does have Facebook and he obviously he talks to Malibu Dallas and Laura follows Malibu. So
Yeah. The truth in the pudding is to have an actual caseworker, retired, terminated, anything that is an actual caseworker, so we can ask them actual questions.
right. I believe that they'll answer some of the questions. They're not going to answer all of them.
They don't have to answer all because they don't have the answers to all. I'm a police officer. I don't have the answers to everything, but I can give you a broad spectrum of an idea of what police officers do in every state
Right.
because every state is different.
Right.
So I'm giving you. You don't have to make up what you think police do. I'll tell you what they do.
So Herbert, I have a law question that I want to see if you can answer. Um, so I was at work today and I happened to look out and go outside and have my smoke break, and I look over at the pizza place and I see a blue SUV. Well, on the back of it, I was reading the thing. It said state trooper. I zoomed in on the thing on my camera to see if it was an actual state trooper's car, and it was because he came out in his uniform. Are police officers supposed to be having dinner with other people while they're on duty?
Did it all the time. That's called a lunch break. I went to Burger King, Wendy's, McDonald's, Jack in the Box on my lunch break.
But sitting in a restaurant.
Sitting in a restaurant with other patrons that's just regular people, the regular public. Me
Yeah.
and my partners will sit there and eat food. Pizzerias, normal. To go to a pizza shop and sit down, have a pizza pie, and drink Coca-Cola or something. We can't drink alcohol, but we could have a soft drink and we can eat pizza.
Hmm.
We're on our break now. Let me understand from your perspective. What do you think we should do? Should we not be there?
I mean, if you're going into a night like the place that I see him at, it's a nice sit down restaurant, and you're full work uniform with your car on duty, even though you're having lunch or you're having your dinner, I feel that that kind of having an authority in a restaurant, a lot of people don't like that, especially when they're in their attire and they have their cruiser with them because it makes them feel uncomfortable.
And just the opposite. There's a lot of people when they see a police car at a restaurant and police on the side, they feel more comfortable to go in there and eat.
Not here. Not here.
So you're only talking about a specific place. But a lot of
Yeah.
places, people see that and they feel more comfortable to go inside because they know there's police all around that can protect them.
Right. Some places are, some places ain't. Like a whole bunch of us looked outside and we were just like, why is a cop over there eating and hanging out with his friends while he's on the job?
No, he's on his lunch break. We get breaks. 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, we could get 30-minute break or 40-minute break, and we only get 5 minutes of it because we get an emergency call. Leave the pizza, leave the Chinese food, get in your car, and respond to the call.
It's interesting.
That's always been. It's always been that way. And for people who feel uncomfortable, there's something wrong with their brains.
So we got the new addition to the family today. If you guys can't hear her.
Tell me about the new addition to the family.
I'll tell you.
Looks like a kitty cat. What's kitty cat's name?
We're still deciding because she's got like white and goldish. So I said Nala, but she's 6 weeks old.
Very nice. You're gonna put a tracker on her around her collar.
I think we'll end up getting a collar, one that has a tracker, but it won't be an outdoor cat.
Doesn't have to be. If the cat gets out, you don't know where it's at. If you have a tracker on the cat, you'll find it quickly.
Yeah.
Better safe than to be upset
sorry.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least if the cat's in the house, you can't find it. The tracker could tell you exactly where the cat's at under the bed.
Right.
So, what else? Let me ask you this: what else do you feel police should or should not do?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot that I think that, you know, cops, or at least around here, have been getting away with. Like, I see them put on their lights and go around someone and then shut them off. Like, what kind of shit is that?
Okay, wait. They put the lights on their vehicle,
Yep.
the emergency lights, and then they go around somebody and they cut them off. You mean?
Yeah.
Or what are they doing?
I seen it done with the Cumberland County sheriffs up here. They were on the road and they wanted to get by someone. They put the damn lights on, went around them, and then shut them off just so they could be in front of them.
And then they turn the lights off and proceeded.
Yeah,
Well, that's not right.
right. And they get away with doing it.
Somebody should report them for doing it. You should, if you have a camera, a cam, what do you call it? Camera.
I'm working on getting one of the things for the car.
Yeah, and then show it to their supervisor.
I did
This
get the
officer
body.
every second.
I did get the body cam. It says it's supposed to be in on Monday, so.
Okay, and you share that with the supervisor.
So I'll have my body cam now that will record everything, even in the courtroom.
Good, very good.
So I ordered that. I ordered my new shirt. That way I can put my tie on when I go to court. So I got a nice dress shirt, nice pair of pants. We lost Herbert.
No, Herbert's still here. I'm just moving around.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I got a nice shirt, nice tie, nice dress pants, and now a nice pair of shoes that I can wear. Well, hi, Mrs. American.
In order to go to court.
Yeah. I find it that I need to be presentable in front of a judge. When you're presentable to a judge, it tells them that, you know, you actually give a shit about their authority a little bit. You don't look like a real, like, you know, like I even shave when I go to court. I I don't wear a hat. I comb my hair back and all that stuff.
I understand.
Brenda, yeah, that's who Miss American Pie is, right? Brenda. So right now
You're saying Brenda? You're saying Brenda is Miss American Pie, as in Brenda and Chris?
yeah, I think that's Brenda.
Okay. Okay. Because I didn't know who Miss American Pie was. I thought it was a whole different person.
Contempt of court. Did you do a petition or did you do a motion for contempt? Yes, it is Brenda. Yeah, I thought so. I'll be fully on cam in a minute. I'm just having my smoke, and I don't like to smoke on cam. I think it's pretty rude. Why are you walking? What time is it there? Because it's 9:16 here, and it's after dark. What time is it there, Herbert?
I'm 3 hour difference, so it's 6:15 here.
Okay. We showed up. They said since he didn't call in to notify the court that he was going to be present, they locked them down 45 days. He's wearing a suit tie. Wow. Oh, they put the ankle bracelet on him? I don't have one of them, and I'm on a house arrest. So they don't really know what I leave or not. Exercise. 8:17 there. Okay, so you're an hour behind me. Ashley's gonna join us once she gets home, I think. She said something about Pop It On. I want to kind of hear some more about this writ that she was talking about. That she was explaining the other night.
Okay.
So you found that post interesting, huh? Herbert.
Yes, I did. It was very interesting.
All right. I'm done with that. Let me get back on cam here.
Okay.
There we I was gonna dive into a little bit more about my case, but I was like, last minute, I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm sick of talking about my case to everyone. It gets kind of old. There's not really been any updates in it, other than we're trying to push the motion to amend bail, but that's about it.
Has there been people who never had anything whatsoever, no involvement whatsoever with the law of any kind, having their children taken away by CPS that you know of?
That
Like
I know of?
none, no involvement, none whatsoever.
No, not that I know of.
Yeah, because it appears, as I've been on the show for a whole year now, everybody has a little trickle, a little something in the past with law enforcement. I mean, it could be something as simple as not even an arrest. They weren't arrested, but law enforcement was in their life for some reason or another. And
Or
I'm
even
trying to
not stopping
listen.
at a stop sign.
Yeah, even getting a summons. I mean, a ticket for speeding or not stopping at a stop sign. Has there been anybody that has been involved with CPS that has none of that? Nothing. No arrest, no picked up for DUI, no nothing. And their children were taken. Has there been any cases like that?
Oh well, Debbie just said, put it up on the screen, that her daughter hasn't had problems with the police.
And her daughter's children were taken away?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, they've been fighting.
Why was Debbie's daughter's children taken away?
Hold on. I'll wait for her to answer that.
Okay. Because I'm trying to establish a pattern. And along with that pattern, I'm trying to establish: has any of your viewers not been misused or abused by their own parents, and they had children taken away? Because I ran into cases where the actual person whose children were taken away, they themselves were abused by their own parents.
Did every one of her teachers love my daughter? Bruce, she said, yeah, yes, bruises by the SC. What's the
What's SC?
SC?
South Carolina? Sheriff County? Uh, what could SC stand for?
I don't know.
Debbie, you're going to have to spell out SC. I can just think about Suffolk County, Sheriff County, SC. Social, no, it would be social services. I don't know what SC stands for. Law enforcement is always involved. No. Well, when you say law enforcement's always involved, at some point you get involved. But were you ever involved with law enforcement way before you had children taken?
I was. I know that.
Yeah, but most of the people I'm listening to have had some kind of involvement. So I'm looking for
Oh,
anybody who has had CPS issues, but never, ever, ever been involved with law enforcement at all.
she said school, so the school called on her. Which they will do, Debbie, because the schools are mandated reporters. All the teachers are mandated reporters.
But the school called on her because her child was in school, right? And the child must have said something to the teacher about something.
Social something.
You got to spell it more. Why can't Brenda come on? Can Brenda come on and talk to us?
I don't know if she can or not.
Can you send Brenda a link?
I'm waiting to see what she says. Debbie, can you join us? I mean, are you willing to join us if I put the link in here? Would that be easier for you to talk with us and be actually on voice with us? You don't have to show your face.
No, you can leave. Look, watch. I'm going to show you how I can get rid of my face by pushing a button. And I'm still going to be talking, and you can hear me. So I'm not on. You can't see me, but you can still hear me. Now I can bring
Yep.
my face back if I want, and there I am. I pop back in.
Okay, she just answered the question.
No, I was on Zoom, and because we would not agree with what the school wanted, they told DHS to take her son. What was it that the school wanted and you didn't agree to? See, this can be very, very easily explained if you come on the show and explain it to us.
Yeah, you don't have to
Because I
show
don't
your
know.
face.
No, you don't have to say your face.
I'm just not afraid. I'm just not afraid of the consequences of showing my face because you know what? CPS has already done so much to me and caused so many problems for me. It really doesn't matter to me. They could have someone try to assassinate me. I would not care. There's Debbie. Welcome
Hi,
up, Debbie.
Hello.
Okay, we can hear you. We can see you. You don't have to be seen if you don't want to. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't have to be seen.
February the 28th, about 2 p.m., we had a Zoom to the school. And CPS was on the Zoom. And they wanted my daughter to go to Arrowhead West here in Medicine Lodge. My daughter refused. My daughter got upset with them. And because Chris would not go to Arrowhead West and would not tell them what they wanted to hear, they took John. And they took him right out of school. He did not come home.
Okay, first of all, there's things that we don't know. What is Arrowhead West?
Arrowhead West is for people that have severe disabilities. My
Okay.
daughter has one. She does have it, but it doesn't affect her.
Okay, your daughter has disabilities, but it doesn't affect her in your eyes. But in the eyes of the school is determining that she's doing or not doing something that they feel is affecting her education. So they're suggesting she goes to Arrowhead West. So I understand you're the parent and you're saying I don't want my child to go there. So couldn't you just say, well, I'm just taking my child out of this school and I put her in another school?
This school, Medicine Lodge, the school ain't bad. It's the principal. I've had no problems with teachers. It's just this principal has been a principal on what I've told for 10 years. And in fact, there are parents right now that are removing their kids and taking them into Pratt because they don't like the principal.
Okay, so why not just not argue and just take your child out of the school like other parents did?
At the time, we didn't know.
You didn't know you could take your child out of the school?
We did, but when we did have,
We did not know. We had no problems with. John was in school for a year and a half, and at that time we had no problems with nothing. I had no problems with the teachers. I had no problems with the preschool teacher, the para. John's got a bruising problem. He bruises. He also has a severe learning problem. My daughter was handling them the best way she can, but nobody was helping him. He would come home and just have problems. He started getting better in about somewhere in February. He started becoming a little better. And it was the bruises that she put on him was the way she was handling them. Because
this
was
is
hard.
Your grandson.
Yeah,
this
is
young
my
man
grandson.
Is your grandson? Okay.
Yes.
And your daughter was handling your grandson in such a way that he was getting bruises?
I mean, she wasn't hurting him. It's just she would have to restrain him. And when she restraining him, he would get brown marks, not bruises, brown marks.
Okay. So he got marks as a result of her trying to restrain him from being too active or something, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then the school noticed the bruises on your grandson?
Yes. They never mentioned nothing about the bruises until the 28th of February.
Okay, the bruises is an immediate target, is an immediate sign that they're going to report. They don't have to, but they're going to. Chances are report that to Child Protective Services because it's unexplained bruises.
And another weird thing, he's getting bruises in foster care.
Okay,
They either say he's accident prone or they say he has accidents at daycare.
or they're trying to restrain him.
Say what?
They're trying to restrain him from hurting himself. Like your daughter. Your daughter was trying to restrain him from hurting himself or hurting something else. You remember you said your daughter would handle him and unintentionally bruise him to restrain him. So at
Yeah.
daycare, they may be doing it. Daycare may be doing the same thing.
I mean, May the 10th, we didn't know. I mean, he's still getting bruises. You know, I don't know what. And in fact, the judge won't even talk about it.
How old is this child?
This child is 4.
He's 4 years old. So he likes to do things and jump around and climb on stuff or whatever, or act out of character.
No, he was a 4-year-old. He was very, very hyper.
Okay, so he's very hyper.
Say what?
Yeah, he's very hyper. Your grandson is very hyper.
Yes.
Okay, and your daughter has to restrain him from time to time.
Yes.
Okay, and as a result of restraining him, he receives bruises from her holding him down or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so that probably
And it was
occurs in
only
the
on
daycare.
it was only on the right arm.
Okay, so that probably happens at the daycare too.
No, damn it, these bruises are like they're like maybe 1 or 2 bruises on his leg. We have seen what it looks like a thumbprint on his cheek and a bruise on his right eye.
Okay. So, from my understanding with CPS, those are signs that they want to investigate. They want to know, why does this child have these bruises? So they definitely, if somebody reports it to them, they're definitely going to investigate that.
They never did. They the school, when DHS was on the Zoom, because Chris would not cooperate with the school, she didn't want to go to Arrowhead West. And when she said no twice, they told DHS to take John, and he was removed. And we were told when we were on the Zoom. And they returned him. I have been told when they returned him, he had bruises on him. They're denying it. And the judge said on the stand, I don't want to see another bruise on him. Supposedly, and I have not seen the pictures, there was a bruise. There were supposedly 2 bruises that look like thumbprints. And when we had him Sunday, there was no bruises on him. And he went to school. There was no bruises on him. I mean, and they're not even talking about the bruises. In fact, the judge, when we went to court last Thursday, said on the stand that I don't want to talk to you about the bruises no more. And that's the only reason they took John in the first place.
Who is Chris? Your daughter?
Yes, my daughter lives with me.
And your daughter refused to send him to Arrowhead West.
Yes.
What
Arrowhead
was the
West, and
refusal?
Arrowhead West can't help her.
And what is Arrowhead West? Another school?
It's a learning it's a training center for people that have severe disabilities, which my daughter has a little disability, but not that bad.
Your daughter has disability, not bad, but your grandson has a disability too?
He has not been tested. He is supposed to get tested, but they haven't tested him.
Do you
You know,
think
they
your
did this something
grandson?
similar with my daughter. They did something similar with my daughter. She was older though. I mean, she was 12 when they took her. She's got autism, like the mentality of like 5-year-old, something like this. And then I'm telling you, they have these places, and I'm telling you that they gather up these girls. Okay, they have ranches for boys or girls. I'm telling you, Alachua Academy had they house up to 28 girls. So this is in Gainesville, Florida. And it's very peculiar because the people are court ordered, the children are court ordered to be there up to age 21, I believe. And the thing is that um, I heard this, a woman that was in there as a child. She says it's like a prison, and it's court ordered. Either you have delays of some type, or you've been in some trouble with the law. And I find that these foster children, where they're turned into foster children, of course they're going to be getting into trouble with law, because they put them in the worst situations. They put them in the bad neighborhoods and bad environments, and it's unbelievable, because it happens to people that don't send kids to school. We homeschool the kids, and I think it all has to do with the Department of Education getting involved and saying, "Hey, you're going to have to take this test," we say, and we're going to have to monitor this test. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, it's not, and that's when all my troubles happened about this, school board, and of course they were saying towards like whatever it was a year later, they didn't think that I had a certified to homeschool my children, when I had a copy of it all the time through the Department of Education, and they said I wasn't a part of a accredited homeschooling thing, which was bullshit. And then the public defender, or whatever you want to call her, I had given her this information on the paper, and she never turned it in. And by the time I said, "Hey, we're having a TPR hearing, what about that paper?" And she says, "Oh, it's too late to turn it in now." I'm like, what in the world's going on? I have to make you think that they, in the beginning I thought they were working for you, or at least with you, but no, everybody through and through is just terrible. That's all I have to say.
He,
It's really terrible.
John, my grandson, he won't
So
even
let
talk
me
no
go.
more.
Okay, we got two stories going on at the same time. So what do you have to do in order to do homeschool?
You have
Well,
to.
really,
It's
it depends on the state actually that you're living in at the time, because I can tell you we moved around quite a bit. But the thing is you do have to register with the Department of Education. You go down there and you sign, um, you know, um, a certified thing that you're certifying that this is what you're doing. You're going to put this many hours. Sometimes they'll have you track the hours and keep track of the hours and the times the children are doing what subject and all that. Other states didn't have to do much at all. Some schools will actually provide you with the books that they would lend you the books for that year. We have that
Well, let's
happen.
talk
I mean, I
about your
homeschool
state.
3
How,
oldest.
Hi,
how
Ashley.
about okay? What state are you in that you're doing this homeschool?
Okay, well, in the beginning, I was doing it in the state of Maine, okay? The state of Maine.
Okay,
And then I
yes.
continued to do it when we moved to New Hampshire. I'm talking about for the youngest now. For the youngest, it went to New Hampshire and then to Florida after that. So we homeschooled those
Now, is,
youngest in all those different places.
okay, now is the requirement in New Hampshire and Maine the same as Florida?
It's saying what? I'm sorry?
Is the curriculum, is that the same? Is it in all those three states? Are they the same criteria?
No.
Okay, so that means every state you go to now what their requirements are.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Like
Did you find out what
here I know
requirement?
we well in Maine, Herbert,
I
you could
did.
go down. They had a place in Scarborough where you can register the kids, and they could do um homeschooling, but it was online. They provided them with the computers and the books for their classes, and they would have to turn in their homework, but it would have to be approved by the parent for them to submit it.
Oh.
Okay,
I would imagine
that's
they were
in
doing
Maine.
stuff like that during COVID too, or something, though.
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
they homeschooled. They did it through the schools via Zoom or via a student portal, but they still offer that for homeschooling if parents want to homeschool.
Yeah,
Oh.
Okay, so
it's
that,
it's called
so
K
that,
through 12.
Yes. What Ashley, say it again.
It's called K through 12.
We had Connections Academy.
okay. So all the parents have to do is follow the instructions and help the child understand what they're looking at on a Zoom. Am I
Yeah.
correct? Okay. So that sounds reasonable to me. So what would be the issue with that?
There is no issue with homeschooling. Matter of fact, a lot of families in Maine are starting to pull their kids out of schools for the reason of every school teacher, every person that's in contact with you in that school is a mandated reported nowadays.
No, they are. It's not nowadays. They are mandated reporters.
Yep.
See, now my oldest, I did it through my oldest. Okay, so can you imagine when this was? I'm not even good at year, but my oldest is actually 40 years old. So, and then my daughter was 39, and now I had my 33-year-old son also. We're all homeschooled. There was sometimes where, and my youngest wasn't involved with sports. Some states will let your child be involved with their sports even though you don't go to their class. But sometimes I'm like, I take them, they would go for the math semester or something, because like if they were having trouble with that, and just take some, a couple semesters, that was a good thing to do too. We were living in Jonesport, Maine at the time. Yeah, that had a nice little setup over there because we weren't even far from the school at all. But again, I think that's when we were in Jonesport, Maine, is when DCF started to be in our life that May. When I brought my child home from the hospital, my youngest, okay, my youngest is 18 now, but when I brought him home, I was at the hospital 3 days with him, as usual, whatever. And then my husband was taking care of my daughter, which was she's 2 years older than him, right? So she's like 2 years old, plus, my other son. So I'm like, can you bring his outfit that I had? I told him exactly where the outfit was, but how men do, they wouldn't know where the freaking outfit was. So I said to the lady at the nurse, I said, is it okay if he could wear this outfit home because my husband didn't bring the outfit? And then it was a report that I didn't have clothes for the children. And then also a report that I didn't have a car seat. Well, I said, no, I knew that there was a program when I had my daughter that provided you with a car seat and, for free. And for some reason, then I had DCF at my door after that, asking questions to me. And I didn't really think about that till I'm talking here with you guys now. It's almost like you got to watch what you say. You know, you have to, geez, when your children are involved, you better pay attention to like who is involved with your children, because it's really scary. It's really
No,
scary.
I think the first thing
So
you said is very true. You have to watch what you say because they take everything you say and into account.
Mm-hmm.
And they twist it.
You can't joke around.
Every,
Oh
You can't joke
yeah, they're
around.
good at that.
Yeah, you can't
even if
joke
you're
around
on,
with stuff.
no, even if you're honest about your history, if you've had substance abuse or if you've had problems with any kind of drug in the past or even domestic violence, they will use that against you in the future for your case that they're gonna pin on you.
Yeah, and they'll figure out what your vice
What,
is. Like if you
what,
have a vice, okay, and they'll figure that out, and then they'll set you up over it and arrest you over it. That's what happened to us anyway. Like
no,
yes,
they don't
I
figure.
I
They
was
don't figure. They don't
a
figure it
little bit of
out.
marijuana.
It's Brenda, right, Brenda?
Yes,
Yes.
Am I
correct.
talking to Brenda? Okay, Brenda.
Yeah.
They don't figure it out. You opened your mouth and told them.
Yes.
They just
What do you
listen to
mean?
you and put two and two together.
What are you saying?
they were
They
paying
can't
attention to
figure it out.
everything. They
They
listen to
pay attention
everything
to
you
everything
say,
you say. Exactly.
and they're
Exactly.
recording you.
Everything's
Believe it or not, they're recording you.
Yeah, they can't get enough of me. I'll tell you that.
They re- they record you. CPS records you. The schools record you. Anytime you meet with your attorney or counselors, they all record you. Trust
Yeah,
me,
that's why
I
our
found out.
attorneys like won't be involved with any communication. Like since the attorney for my husband is at Alabama, he won't communicate in any way through the jail because he knows they're going to be recording it. It's just like there's
Actually, no.
not even with your attorney. There's no privacy.
No, no, they cannot record in a jail when it is an attorney-client privilege. They cannot record an attorney's number whatsoever. Because here in Maine, when I was in court, when I was in jail, they could not record that phone thing, and it says it right on the phone that it is attorney-client privilege only.
Yeah, it should be.
okay.
It should be, but
Now,
I'm
now
telling you, in
I'll say
Florida
this
or
much.
in Dixie County at
Yeah.
least, there are definitely some different rules
Durham.
there.
I'll tell you this much. They can say they're not recording, and they are recording, but whatever they listen to can't be held against you in a court of law.
Well, did you remember? I don't know if I told you about this, Herbert, when when we were doing our case plan and we went to this marriage counselor type lady that they, we're like, okay, we were like eager to do it, like, because we'd seen that one movie, where they go on a vacation, the couples, and have couple therapy, whatever, it's no problem. But the thing is that the lady started acting weird. Chris put a recorder in his pocket and said, I'm going to like record this because she keeps saying I'm saying things that I never said. So I'm going to have this to back me up. Okay. Because whatever. And then, ends up FDLE raids our house, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, if you don't know what that was. And then, they gathered everything in our house, every recording device, every CD, whatever. And that's a whole nother story, but they kept it for 8 months, found nothing, absolutely nothing wrong, and then they gave us our stuff back. So yeah, all the kids' laptops, everything. But in any
So
case, when they did that, they found this tape, and then they arrested Chris for eavesdropping for Alachua County. But they also arrested me for eavesdropping that same night. It happened to be the election night when my husband's running for sheriff against that, whatever. And we're sitting down and watching
Okay.
results. They're
Okay.
taping, and I'm like, "Sure." And they
Brenda,
arrested
you're
me for
giving us a
Gilchrist
shotgun.
because I taped a conversation with the Partnership for Destroying Families. I taped it because it was like a supervisor, and it was her supervisor and my caseworker. They were all on the phone. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to remember this. I'm going to record it. which I did.
Did
And
you
I didn't think
did
that's
you
something
let
wrong with
them
it. How am I
know?
going to remember?
Did you let them know you were recording it? Did you
No,
say
but
I'm going to be recording this?
nope, no.
Go. What
But
state was this
why
in?
would
Wait,
they
wait,
work
wait,
us for
wait,
eavesdropping at the
wait.
same time,
Hold it. Hold it. What state was this in?
and then all of a sudden they
What
drop it? They say it's
what
eavesdropping,
state?
then they drop it. What? They just
What
want to throw
state
us
were
in
you?
jail all the time.
What
That's
state were
Florida,
you
of
in when you
course.
did the recording? Florida.
I've
Okay.
never been arrested
Florida.
anywhere but Florida, I tell you.
Okay. Florida
Or
is a
for Florida.
two-party state. Do you know what a two-party state means? If you don't, I'll explain it to you.
No, I don't.
Two-party state
Like,
means that everybody being recorded has to know they're being recorded. In a one-party state, you could do all the recording you want. You could be recording me right now. In a one-party state, I don't know I'm being recorded. It's legal. But in Florida,
Like,
I have to know I'm being recorded.
right. Like, and
what
Maine,
do
that's
they call it?
Maine is a
true.
one-party state.
What
Maine
is
is a
Maine
it?
is
one-party state.
Maine
Confederate
is
state or somebody said it's
Maine is a one-party state. You have the right to record without telling them that you're recording them.
But in Florida, you can't record without letting anybody know they're being recorded.
I'm saying I'm sorry I ever moved to Florida because my life was fine until then. New
All you
Hampshire
had to
live
do
free
was
or
learn the
die, man.
laws.
We lived in the
But
mountains.
but
You just have to learn the laws of every state you go into.
guys, I got since I got Ashley and I got Durham here. I do want to hear a little bit more about this writ, Ashley. So if you guys can let Ashley talk, I want to hear a little bit more in depth about this writ that she's been working on. Ashley, you got the floor.
Yeah. Sorry. The one with Barbara Stone.
Yes.
Okay, that one. It's really actually really basic. I would think it would be common knowledge and common law. That's what we're trying to go for. It has a lot to do with the Title B funding and the rights against parents and being held against our wills, and it also has a lot to do with something that's called a QSIP. Now, I don't know if a lot of people know, but this may sound absolutely crazy and wild. But when we were all born, our birth certificates are actually an account, and we all have a trust account. It's wild to even think, but
Yeah, that I've
everybody,
learned that. So, yep.
everybody has a trust account. It's called a QSIP. Now you have a way to access this QSIP account money. It's not cash in your hand. It's not like money you get in your pocket and you get to go from the bank and go joyful buy whatever you want. It's not like that. It's something else. It's everything that you have to do with your social security card, your social security number. So a house, a car, mortgages, gas bills, electricity bills, your car payments, your insurance, DMV, court fees, anything that you have to do that's in all caps name, like your name is in all capital letters. I don't know if anybody's actually ever noticed that when they get mail from the government, it's always all caps. That's because they're dealing with your birth certificate, which is that trust account. And they're not wanting you to come to court. You are actually the one that's willing to say that you're that person and go to court acting as that person. And they don't care about what's going on with you. They just want into that account so they can get money from it, trade it on the stock market. And you'd be surprised how much money is in each of our accounts. It took me a good, I think, 6.5 months to get into this account and get the numbers and everything correct. And it's a mind-blowing amount. It's over triple digit, like it's disgustingly a large amount. So, and it's just wild to think that you can use that money to purchase things like your car. You can make your car payment. You can go to a car place, that any dealership that accepts a 1099-A form, and you fill that out, and that's a purchasing agreement, and that's your number to your account, and everything else you just turn it into your taxes. There's obviously a way to do the paperwork, and it takes about 1.5 to 2 months to complete the final sale, but you can get a car outright. You can get a boat, an RV. You can do anything that you put your social security number down for, you can actually purchase and pay it outright and not have any payments. It's really wild to think about, and that has a lot to do with the writ as well. But then again, people need to understand that you can't just teach somebody this. You have to be willing to learn it as well, because of course the government is going to come back at us with all that they can. And if we don't understand what these laws are and what these codes are and what these statutes are, we can't really play their game. So it just sucks because a lot of us have to learn this, and a lot of people don't want to learn it. So
Yeah,
I'm still in the
yeah.
process of learning. It's a lot to take in, but I'm in the first few steps. But the writ is, we want to get everybody signed on to learn about this, the QSIP number, and be able to access the life that we're have.
Can
We're
you
not
You
can
said
you
it's a
supposed
put
to
that?
have
1099. You said it's a 1099B.
no 1099A form. You need to find like a dealership or a mortgage company or somebody that will deal with purchasing it with a 1099A agreement.
Okay.
If you're on Telegram, if you have a Telegram account or a Rumble account, you can look up Freedom Fighters, and he has a lot of information, and you can just join their little group. And they've got a lot of information. You can just go to like the link where it says documents and click on that, and it will show you all the different documents that anybody's ever posted on that channel. And that's where a lot of learning have come in help. That's where I've been learning
Well, I'm gonna touch.
a lot of
I'm
things.
gonna touch bases with Morgan Stanley and ask him about the 1099A form.
That's about
Yeah,
1099A purchasing
what if
agreement.
Charles Lincoln would be a good place to ask him about that? I wonder. I'm gonna ask him about
I'm
that.
gonna go. I'm gonna go to a financial advisor and ask them about the 1099A.
That's a good
A
I don't know
idea,
if
financial
Herbert.
it's
advisor
me
should
or
know about it.
you guys, but I have bad reception maybe because it sounds like everybody's a robot.
Okay. I'm saying that I'm gonna touch bases with
We
a
are.
financial advisor.
We are robots. No.
No,
I
I'm
want to
not.
touch bases with. I'm going to touch bases with a financial advisor and ask them about the 1099A.
Yep.
He probably won't tell you the truth, but you can try.
They're financial advisors. They have to know about it.
They do have to know about it, but they don't have to tell you about it.
I'm
I've
paying
gone
them
on
money.
the fidelity.com, the Fidelity website, and if you have your original birth certificate, that is your QSIP number that's written on there. Sometimes it's a letter in the beginning, maybe 2 letters, and then all the numbers. If you enter that number in the search bar in the Fidelity website .com, if you have an account, you'll just sign an account. It's really quick and it's cheap. It doesn't cost anything. But if you put
And
your QSIP number,
you refer to it as a QSIP number, right?
yeah, CUSIP.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, QSIP number. It's on the back of your birth certificate. Sometimes it's on your social security card. It's either or. And it's usually in red ink, and it's a number or 2 numbers or 2 letters first, and then the rest of it are numbers. If you enter that in the fidelity.com website after you make an account, you'll be able to access and see how much funds are in your account yourself. I'll have to send you a document that tells you how to use your QSIP and how to look up your QSIP, and it explains the whole process. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, send me that. Actually, I just wanted to
Where
find
does
out.
this QSIP money come from?
This money comes from the day you were born. The government opens up an account in your birth certificate name, not you personally, but a John Doe, like your name, but in all caps. And in doing that, that whole years that you were not, just since you didn't never know about it, they've had access to that money that they claim that they're the beneficiary or the trustee for it. And they've been trading the bonds of your name on the market, and that's how they've become so abundantly huge. But they're not allowed to access that money unless they get permission from you through courts or through signing contracts with CPS or signing other things. They're not getting the money from the federal government. They're
Well,
getting it from those
it
trust
may
accounts.
seem strange, but isn't that exactly what you're asking? I know that I heard some post that was criticizing this. I wonder though if that's what they're doing with our children, because I seen something that indicated trust when I got my discoveries after I tried to rescue my daughter Sage, and it talked about, yeah, her
That's it.
trust. So it's
That
like,
that's what
yes,
they're
they're
doing.
always making money on my daughter.
When they get our kids and they get the kids in custody, they are the trustees in that account now because
Yeah.
they have
See, I never
custody over
knew
the
that
children.
before
They've
I
got
seen
their
that.
parents on legal paperwork. They're the parents, so they can have access to that money, and that's how they're pulling. They're emptying. Our kids don't have accounts. We did. So yeah,
Oh,
it's disgusting. It's really sick, and it's all about money. It's always about money. We just follow the trail.
Durham,
But
what do
yeah,
you got
you
to
have a
say
way to
about that?
get in there, and it's pretty crazy.
What about the trust? Good evening, anyone from the UK. Hope you're well.
You,
Yeah,
yeah.
Vinny, the talking of the trust, that's right. It's the same here. As soon as they take your children, they got access to that trust instantly. I think that's why they're taking the children, because they're spending and abusing that money like they're abusing our children, and that's what they're accessing, the trust. You see, when I listen to you guys there, it's a carbon copy of what's happening here. It's just the same because it's a global problem. It's happening in Sweden, Finland, Germany, all over the globe. So yeah, it is the trust
Everywhere.
money, and they're abusing it.
So
seems to
yeah,
be
like the call I got from the Social Security guy. I told you guys this before with my daughter. They called and I verified he was from Social Security office and from Gainesville. Of course that's Florida, and saying that he was looking for an address for my daughter Sage, who has like been lost ever since they were adopted out. They've been lost. And yeah, so he's pretty much telling me in so many words that they were making money off my daughter's name and it's not going to my daughter. So that's why he wanted to find out what her address was.
Yep. If you are in court for anything, your court case number is actually a records number that ties to your account, your trust account. So if you bring in a 1099, I think it's A form as well, and you bring it into court and you tell court, oh, I need to claim this for my taxes. I need to make sure you fill this out. You will be surprised on how they do that. I haven't done it myself. I've only read up on it a little bit, so I don't know 100% if it's correct. But I know if you take your court case number to court and you bring in a 1099, I think it's A form, and you give it to the judge or your lawyer and tell them that you're claiming this on your taxes, just to be surprised at their reply. And you probably would get some money back, is what I've heard. Especially if you're innocent.
that's an
And it's crazy that a
interesting.
lot of people don't know it. Yeah, it's a really wild thing. Just like the language that the courts speak, the legalese. When they say, "Do you understand me?" They're not saying, "Do you understand?" Like, "Do you comprehend what I'm saying?" They're saying, "Do you stand under my authority?" Like you stand under me. So when you say yes, you understand. You're agreeing with them that you stand under their authority, and that's why they believe they have so much power over all of us.
Yeah, see, but my attorney though is different because he knows that he has no power over me because everything that I file against him.
If there's a couple out there that are not as weaselly as most, but most of them will not actually admit it. It's pretty wild, the things that you can learn on the internet.
Yeah, you can learn a lot. I do a lot of searching, a lot of Google. I go on news channels. I read posts in groups. I'm constantly searching. I watch YouTubes from here to there sometimes, and I'm just learning, and I'm watching and listening to every single case that's going on in Maine, and you know all over the globe for that matter. And I'm putting all of it together and I'm just like, wait, hold up. This is not just one area. This is like everywhere. This, yeah, Russia's not as bad. But I'm sure there's some cases out there we just don't know about.
Oh, there's a million and a million.
Sweden's really bad at the minute, Vinny.
Yeah,
it's really bad. And Finland. Oh, can I just touch on it? The lady was saying about the recording, and you're saying that you've got laws in your country, two-state law, where you can't record it. Have you tried transcribing your recordings, putting them into document form so that you can use them in the court? Because over here, we can record. They can't stop us from recording. We don't have to tell them we're recording, but we do tell them. So when we've told them, they try and say, "Oh, no, you can't record," but we can. And they know we can. But
okay, Jerome, I have a question for you. So when you record someone, can you use that against them?
In court, yes, but you must get a lawyer to transcribe the audio recordings. Or even if you take video footage, there's still going to be sound. So you turn it into a transcript, which you can use in court.
Okay, so it goes, but okay, when you record it and it's converted into a transcript, is that acceptable by court, even though the individual doesn't know they were being recorded?
Yes, you can take that transcript. You have to go and see your lawyer first to make it official. You can't just do it yourself and then go into court with it.
Okay.
Your lawyer has to do it for you.
So then you have what we call a one party. A one party, you could do one party. In other words, as long as you know you're recording and you get the transcript, it's held up in court. In a two-party situation like Brenda, she has to make sure that everybody knows they're being recorded.
Okay, but when she tells them that she's recording, she can still turn it into a transcript and hand it to the judge.
No. If she says, "I want to record you guys," and anybody says, "No, I don't want to be recorded," she can't use it.
Is that what your law is?
Even if it's transcribed?
That's a two-party. No, it doesn't make a difference. If a person says in a two-party situation, if a person, you say, "I'm going to record the situations, the session," and one person says, "Nope, I don't want to be recorded," then you can't use their voice or video against them in court, transcribed or not. But in one state
I did find out that it's very expensive to get something transcribed. I did find that out once.
Well, take the money out of it. Take the money out of it. All right. So we got enough money to have it transcribed. If a person says in a two-party that they don't want to be transcribed, that they be recorded, you can record them, but you can't use it against them.
I thought that if they were working as like an official or under the color of law, I believe that if you say you're recording them and they're in public, you're allowed to do it. But in like a private area or on private property, that may be not allowed, if that makes sense.
No, it has to do with the state. The state. Florida is one of the few states where you have to have two-party consent. Most states is one-party consent. So as long as you know you're recording, the other people don't have to know in a one-party. In the two-party, all people involved have to know they're being recorded. And if you don't let them know they're being recorded, you can't use it against them.
Correct. I know that part. Yeah. Interesting.
So in the UK, what Durham just described is one party. That means he knows he's recording everybody in the room. He gets a script transcribed, has an attorney involved, and that could be used in the court. That's what Durham just explained to me. And the other people are like, I didn't know I was being recorded. You don't have to know. You don't have to know you're being recorded. I know that I'm recording. That's all he needs. And then get it transcribed.
Right. Can I say something else as well? When we go into these meetings and we record, okay, we tell them they're for our own records, so we can keep a record. But it's still allowed in court. So when you put a dictaphone down or put your mobile phone, whatever recording device, and you tell them that it's for your personal records. Okay, but then you've got that in writing. So if CPS go into the courts and basically bullshit, you've got that evidence in front of you. Just kind of get my drift. So you can say to these people, I've not got. You can trick them. You can say my memory's not that good, so I'm recording this for my own records. As long as you don't share that outside, you can use it in court. Okay, we can, and basically they'll have no choice to let you record, and that's one way around it in this country.
Well, if you had the tape recorder Durham in your pocket, it was concealed in your pocket. Nobody knows it's being recorded. What I understand, as long as you get it transcribed with an attorney, it's you can use it in court. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's valid. Yeah.
Okay, so they don't have to know they're being recorded.
No, you don't have to tell them. But if they get like funny with you, which they sometimes do, and they'll say, we're going to cancel this meeting, okay? And so all you say to them is, it's for my own records.
Yeah,
that's it.
You don't have to tell them, but it's very polite if you do.
Yeah, it is polite if you do, but you don't need
It's
to.
polite, yes. It's polite. It's polite if you do. Now, what if one of the parties says, I don't want to be recorded? What do you do now?
Well, we turn around and say it's for our own records.
I know you said it's for your own records, but the person says, I don't care what it's for. I don't want you to, I'm not going to speak if you're recording me.
But you see, in this country, I can turn around and tell them to get gone, basically, because we're allowed to. That's the difference. We don't, our laws tell us we don't even need to tell them that we're recording. But then obviously you can't use the recording in court as audio or video. You've got to have it transcribed. But our laws in this country is that we can record them without even telling them. So, but like you said, one state you can record, but two states you can't. So your
That's
laws
correct.
is obviously different. Yeah, so your laws is obviously different. But I would definitely look into it, right? Because if you can ask them if you can record, right, but for your own records. See, the difference is, right, if you don't record, they're going to go on bullshit. They're going to go on bullshit, right? But if you've got a transcript in front of you, yeah, you can look and go, well, hold on a second, I didn't say that. You're using that for your own protection. And you can bring that to the judge's attention.
No, but in a two-state recording, as long as you let the parties know you're recording, they know. I mean, you're letting them know that. You're fine.
Just trying to help you guys, you know.
Yeah. I'm just saying, the only difference.
Ideas, you know what I mean?
No. Your ideas are great, and I have it transcribed because it's on paper, so they can read what they said on paper.
Yeah, because a lot of judges in this country won't entertain audio recordings or video footage unless it's necessary and there's no other way, you know. So yeah.
I've noticed that sometimes the things that are transcribed, and then you look at the tape of it, and the transcript or whatever is not accurate to the tape.
That's why you use a lawyer to do it. Then it's done professionally. If you see, I've used speech to text. They don't work. Trying to use those, they don't. It's all over the place. It doesn't come out properly. But that's why you go to a lawyer and they do it for you. They use the proper equipment. And then it's obviously legal as well to use.
Yeah, the proper equipment is a person that sits there and listens and types down what they're hearing.
Yeah, basically.
So, guys, I just wanted to let you know we got about 10 minutes left.
Yes, Vinny, you told me you was working late and you wasn't coming on, and I've stayed up till 3 o'clock for you, mister.
Yeah. I worked till about a little after 7:30. I picked up an extra hour.
Not a problem.
And I'm probably going to pick up an extra 4 hours tomorrow. So, but yeah, we got about. I wanted to end the show here soon, because I do got to work tomorrow.
And go for it.
So with that said, we'll start with
Wah,
last
wah.
week. Yeah, I know.
It's like it's
Wow, wow.
barely 7 o'clock here in California.
Well, I mean, you know how to reach me, Ashley, so you can always just hit
I
me up.
I
But
slept all afternoon, so I'm like ready to go. This is why I was walking in the evening because I'm trying to get my exercise in.
Well, if
yeah,
I don't know how to post my email on the chat, but if you want to
hold
email
on.
me your just give me your email. I'll send you any documents to get you started to at least looking into the QSIP and how to understand it, and then maybe the writ as well. And if you guys want to sign on to the writ, you're more than welcome. The more the merrier. And yeah, but my email address is my last name and my first name, which is Clark, with an E at the end, and Ashley, the number 33. So CLARKEASHLEY, the number 33 at Gmail.
I think I just
And yeah,
put mine in here.
perfect. Yeah, just send me an email real quick, and I'll flood you with an overload of reading, and that will definitely keep you busy for a while.
Yeah. All right,
But the more
guys.
people know, the better, so we can get access to it and let the government not take advantage of us anymore. It's crazy.
So we'll start last words. We'll start with Mr. Herbert.
My last words are learn all you can about Child Protective Services and try to avoid being a victim of that system.
All right, Ashley.
Just knowledge is power. Learn anything and everything you can, even if people say it's not real or it's bull crap. That doesn't mean that you have to believe that. There's a lot of things out there that I would have never in my life
Yeah.
thought was true. And since COVID has hit, I have come to realize it in everything's opposite of what I actually believe in. So God is real. Have faith and fight for your kids. Don't ever stop.
Brenda, last words.
Oh, you know what I would say? I said never stop praying because I have, and then it didn't really work out that well for me. But I think you got to keep your mind active, keep your body fit. You got to be fit for the fight, and your brain keep that active too because you need a good mind coming into this fight.
Definitely. Amen.
That's good. Durham.
Yo. One problem, them. One solution, us.
I like that.
Straight to the point.
I love it.
That is straight to the point. And my last words for tonight is this. Try to have a great weekend. Try to avoid being getting in trouble with the law and involving CPS into your life through the law. And hate your caseworker just as much as you hate their supervisors. Until then, we will see you back here Monday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are CPS victims hunting for justice.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. Bye.
Get the thing up here.
Somebody's got to do.
And I am here to share an important message with you. Remember, every minute in the USA, a child is taken by CPS. Watch CPS Victims Hunting Justice every Monday through Friday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time to learn about the destruction of families. Join us on this journey as we shine a light on the struggles and seek justice for those affected by CPS intervention. Together, let us raise awareness and work towards creating a better future for our children and families. Tune in to CPS Victims Hunting Justice and stand with us in the fight for a fair and just child protection system.